Who said Shaolin monks can't fight? Just kidding, my first fight was actually more like this. I want to take you through all of it. My fights, my mindset, my first impressions on competitions in general, if Shaolin Kung Fu helped me or not, and that some cliches are very true. A lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. My very first competition was a disaster. And I'm not even talking about the fight yet. It was a small local gym, you know, which was okay for me. I didn't even know if the whole competition vibe was for me. Well, it turns out I had one fight. Only one fight. I arrived at 8 a.m. for the weigh-in. I didn't eat breakfast because I didn't want to puke on the mat. I ended up fighting at 1 p.m. So I waited for 5 hours. I hated it. And it's not like I could have left because I have to be ready at any moment. Not used to that kind of stuff. So then eventually the fight started. My very first fight. I don't know if you can tell, but I am not nervous here at all. That's weird because my whole life I've always been a very nervous person. I told you the story before when I threw up after performing at the Shaolin Temple. I don't know, man, performance anxiety or something. But here, nothing. Completely calm.
I stay relaxed.
Zen. I've discovered Zen after leaving the temple. Too calm, in fact. I think this is one of my biggest issues. I'm way too passive and chill. Anyways, we do some grip fighting and ultimately he goes for a single leg. I don't know how to counter that shit yet, so I decide to hold on to him and get on my back. 2 points, whatever. I hate you. Tried to get up. Didn't work. Tried to guillotine. Didn't work. Don't be mad, okay? But I'm fairly confident, for a white belt, in my guard and my sweeps, so that's what I did. No, scissor sweep failed. I don't know what this sweep is called. It failed too, because he could post with his right arm. Yikes. At this point, I see my wife and I do whatever this is. It's funny, you know? Everyone told me before this fight that competitions are way different than sparring. You get tunnel vision and it's super hardcore intense. My experience was the complete polar opposite. This felt exactly like sparring to me. Maybe the energy level from my opponent was a bit higher than usual and the fight was a bit longer, but generally it was very much the same. It's sparring with an audience and it's very loud. We cuddle a little bit more and I wave hi again to my wife. My buddy here told me that when he saw me do that, he wanted to slap me over the head. I spent some more time trying to sweep him, but his coach kept reminding him of that, which made it, yeah, impossible. Then, finally, movement. I try to get up, but it fails. And now I'm a little afraid that he was gonna pass my guard, but I'm able to get my butterfly hooks in again. We get reset and I tell the referee that this is a lot of fun. And I tell my opponent that he's doing a great job. Before you say anything, it's called psychological warfare, okay? And I'm losing. What can I say, okay? I'm a nice guy, who you kidding, huh? Who cares? It's fun, who cares? Who cares, okay? We managed to stand up. He gets that takedown. 2 more points for him. He ends up kicking the TV. I talk to my buddy. My wife tells me how much time is left and we get reset again. This time with only 38 seconds left to the fight. So I'm thinking something's gotta happen. So I try the Kimura sweep. I can't get my arm in. Then I hear my wife yelling, which was so cute that it made me laugh. Now I'm thinking there is nothing really left to do. So I thought I'm just gonna try to get a cross collar choke. Only problem, I've never done that choke. I don't really know how it works. But lo and behold, it didn't work. He started to breathe heavily, but it was bullshit. I had no idea what I was doing and that was it. I lost 0-4. I had so much fun though. It was awesome. And even though up until right before the fight, the entire experience was terrible, the fight itself convinced me that I gotta do this again. Especially because one fight, come on, man. And you didn't think I was gonna make a video on only this snooze fest of a fight now, did ya? No. I participated in another competition. This one was much more professional and larger in scope. This time my wonderful coach Asa went with me, and as we approached the location, he tells me, enough jokes. I know you're a nice guy, Anton, but when you step onto the mat, you have to want to destroy your opponent. You can be nice after the fight, but you need to get into the killer mindset. You gotta destroy him. So I responded, with peace and love, I'm a monk. No, joke. But that is just totally never gonna be my mindset. It's just not my approach. I don't wanna hurt anyone. Girls just want to have fun, okay? BJJ is never gonna be my career. I'm too old. I'm never gonna be a world champion and I don't wanna be it. I just really enjoy it. And if the other guy wins, I don't mind. I wanna have a fun fight. I don't have this epic Sigma motherfucker mentality. It's just not who I am and it'll never be. And maybe that's also why I'm not nervous before the fights. Because whatever happens, I'm okay with it. And to prove that, I'm gonna win this next fight in opposite world. Yeah, the first fight, not good. Nothing exciting happens at all. It's literally just me on the ground and the dude in side control. I made some faces, but this one was extremely underwhelming. And even I didn't enjoy this one that much. I lost by points. Again. Also, I almost got disqualified before this fight too, because I was too heavy for my weight class. Then I took 3 big shits and that did it. Not even joking. I shouldn't have had that Donatella on the night before, yeah. It was good though. Now, before we go on to the next 2 fights that I have both won by submission. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. I am a lazy fighter. I am lazy. I love to sit down on my ass and play God. That's what I enjoy. Sometimes during class, I have to scream at myself in my head like, don't be lazy, get up, you little phantom. When I'm in a bad position, I don't want to exert myself too much to escape. I just wait. This isn't judo where you win by holding me for 20 seconds. I like to wait for my opponent to transition into another position and then find an opening or an opportunity to escape or sweep or whatever. If someone got me in a strong controlled position, I'm not gonna fight it. I just wait. It's probably a bad approach, but that's what it is right now, okay? So because this first fight was pretty much an epic fail, I realized I gotta switch on, man. I gotta do something. Stop being lazy. I gotta go after it a little bit. Be more proactive up in this bitch. And that's what I did. Next fight. The fight starts and this time I had a plan for a takedown. So we both established grips. I planned to go for a kataguruma and just waiting for my chance to strike, my coach yells. My opponent takes that as a hint that shit's about to go down and he initiates the takedown. Because I got good grips though and he's just swinging me around, I'm not too afraid and I managed to like sweep him with the momentum that he created. I passed the guard and ended up in side control. You can see I'm happy about that. My coach not so much. He's telling me to concentrate. I try to get to mount and move around him a little too much with not enough control and end up being pushed on my back. Sadly for him, I am a power bottom. So I get a nice spider guard and chill there for a while. He manages to get free and the coach keeps telling me to stop relaxing and do something. I do the little BJJ butt scoot towards my opponent. Don't show this to Jesse Enkamp. He tries to get past me, fails, and I finally do manage to get my scissor sweep and mount. Some time passes with me trying to work his arms up, but the dude is strong, I can't do it, and he even pushes me off, and I'm back to where I feel the most comfortable, on my back, like your mom, owned. He puts a lot of pressure on me, but I notice he can't post on his right side since I trapped his leg and I'm holding his right arm on his stomach. I get to mount, finish the job with an armbar. Now that was a super fun fight. My first W, even with a submission. Let's go! Okay, no time to waste. The next fight starts right away. The dude is trying to foot sweep me, but that ain't happening, brother. I go for a kataguruma finally, but that ain't happening either, brother. We dance around a bit more, and as he grabs my leg, he exposes his back, and I decide, fuck it, I might try a Tomonaga or Zumigaishi or Yakitori Nagasaki, whatever the shit. Sadly, he posts with both hands, not enough momentum, shit! Luckily, he lands in my guard, and I let him fight my hands a little bit. I'm trying to go for an armbar here. I mean, why not? I just won with an armbar, but I can't get the angle. We remain entangled here for a while, and then the unthinkable happens. He scratches me. But I immediately look at my wife and show her with that beautiful signature Ranton smile that I am okay. We disengage and he tries to pass me, he can't, and I use my window to get another scissor sweep into mount. This time I'm able to perk the elbow up for the arm triangle. The arm triangle is probably my most used submission in sparring. I love it. I put on the pressure, but I hear my coach say, no, back to mount, because he was scared that I'd lose the position. So I get back to mount and get the tap. Yeah! So 2 times lost by points, 2 times won by submission. In other words, 100% of my wins are by submission. In other words, I'm a god. In other words, I have proven that Shaolin Kung Fu works.
No way.
Yeah, not really. I do wonder to what extent my experience with Kung Fu has helped me. I would put it like this. Maybe you need to know how to move a little bit, and Shaolin Kung Fu does teach you how to move, in the sense that it improves your coordination and flexibility. 2 things that are, I would say, vital to any sport, but application-wise, technique-wise, not at all. Or at least not in ways I've noticed. I think Shaolin is a fantastic gateway drug. If you're good at Shaolin, you'll have an easier time transitioning to any other martial art because it includes so many things. Or you'll be stuck in an endless feedback loop buying essential oils, tiger dick, and praying to false idols. Boom! Roasted. BJJ has a weird addictive quality to it that I've never experienced with any other sport. I know I will train it as long as my body will allow it. Now, by all means, I haven't fought a lot. 4 fights are nothing, really. I plan to do it many more times, but I've already come to realize that there's a lot I hate about participating in BJJ competitions. I actually hate everything about it, except the fights. The fights are awesome, but I hate having to drive for hours. I hate that I have to find a dog sitter for Sammy. The unfamiliar changing rooms. I know, I'm old, sorry. Even though I'm not nervous, all the people around me that are practicing their moves kind of drive me crazy. It's way too busy, it's chaotic, it's not always clear when you fight. The whole vibe really isn't for me. I just enjoy the fights. And the cliche that I mentioned in the beginning is that people always say you learn more from losing, and that is unironically so true. It sounds like loser talk, but goddamn, the fights I won, I didn't look at the videos a lot, because it's like one and done. But the fights that I lost, I watched them over and over again. I check for big mistakes and what to change going forward. It's the most cringe-ass cliche, but man, I feel it's very, very true. And lastly, I have to file a complaint. A complaint to the BJJ gods, whoever is in charge. Mr. BJJ, there's one thing I hate about the rule set. I hate that people around, and especially coaches, are allowed to say anything to their students during the fight. I think that is total bullshit. Let me explain. The point of competing, to me, is to see who's better. It's a 1v1, eins gegen eins. I don't want to fight you and your coach. If I notice an opportunity for a submission, but my opponent doesn't, but his coach does, and yells, dude, he's going for X, and then I don't get it, I think that is total shit and unfair. It's you versus me and nobody else. And the same goes the other way around, by the way. I don't want anyone to give me any advice during a fight. Because if I don't see an opening for a submission, but my coach does and tells me, and then I do it and win, I feel like that's not my victory. That's my coach's victory. I hate companions in video games for the exact same reason. Don't steal my kills, bro. If I win, I want it to be because of me. If I lose, same thing. I want to own the result. I actually told my coach about this and he said, I just have to accept that this is the way it is and it won't change, I guess. Is there anywhere out there who's on the same page as me? Anyone? Competition should be mano a mano and silence. Whatever. Yeah, maybe I just have to do it. Who cares? Oh yeah, and by the way, my wife also fought. She narrowly lost her first fight in a small gym by points and won one and lost one in the bigger event, both by points. So we both ended up going home with a silver medal. Isn't that cute and wholesome? Okay, thank you for watching. That was my first competitive combat experience. Yes. Alrighty. Rantoni out.